Psychic Cup is here, and I'm excited about it, which I never thought I would say when I first heard of the Psychic Cup. So I'm Fish, I'm from Pallet Town PvP, and we're going to take a look at the basics of the Psychic Cup meta in just 5 minutes. This is just to get the ball rolling so you can do your own research later, but if you want to take a look at a complete breakdown of the meta, we live stream a chat here on this YouTube channel every Tuesday night US time. You can check out the link to this week's chat in the description below the video, or you can click here. In the meantime, here's your basics. And in my opinion, the meta is built around, like the core meta is built around 5 Pokemon, and they are Galarian Rapidash, Alolan Raichu, Victini, Malamar, and Gardevoir, Shadow Gardevoir specifically. Now, you can explore outside of that. You don't have to have any of those 5 Pokemon on your team. It's not like Color Cup, right? But, I mean, it does help to have one of these 5. So, Galarian Rapidash and Alolan Raichu are your safe switches. They are as safe as you can get in a meta, right? Because they have play against pretty much everything. With just one Fairy Wind of energy and running Body Slam and Mega Horn as your charge moves, you're beating 93% of the whole meta. That is the whole meta, not just the core meta, right? And Alolan Raichu, even without an energy lead, will beat 83% of the meta. Alolan Raichu specifically, if you can beat your opponent and then come out with an extra Volt Switch or 2 of energy, you can really set yourself up nicely in the back. Interesting thing about Galarian Rapidash, take a look at these losses, right? Galarian Slowbro, Victini, Matang, Jirachi, and Metagross. It was given high horsepower since the last time Psychic Cup was around, and high horsepower will knock out every single one of those. Now, in my opinion, you are giving up a little too much by not having either Mega Horn or Body Slam on your Rapidash, but if you want, that is an option available to you. You can run high horsepower as your nuke move, and you can flip the tables against a lot of those Pokemon, all of those Pokemon. Now, you've got your Victini and your Malamar, which just, the Victini gives such devastating neutral damage, and the Malamar gives such spammy, super effective damage. There is nothing that resists Dark-type in this meta, and most things are weak to it, so Malamar is good for that reason. Malamar has to worry about 2 things, and they are, well, basically, a lot of these things have 1 or 2 main counters. The Alolan Raichu will hate to see a Claydol, just doesn't have the tools to beat the Claydol, even with Grass Knot, right? Malamar will hate to see Shadow Gardevoir and Medicham. It actually doesn't do very well against Medicham. So, speaking of Shadow Gardevoir, Shadow Guard is good because it can 2-shield its way through everything. It beats 88% of the meta in the 2-shield scenario, right? It's only losing to Galarian Slowbro and basically Steel Pokemon. So a lot of players hate coming up against it for that reason. Like, it just beats everything. Like, you often can't win against that Pokemon because it's just grinding its way through you. So there's the 5 main ones. There are a couple of picks outside of that like Bronzong with, again, that dark damage of Feint Attack, Payback, and Heavy Slam. It also isn't weak to the Mega Horn of the Galarian Rapidash, which is nice, and it's bulkier than you think it is. And another one is, of course, Claydol down here, which I mentioned, with Shadow Ball, which can hit even more things for super effective than what the Foul players can do. Walza and Alolan Raichu, I mean, it can do well. It's a bit awkward to use. But then there are 2 new additions to the meta, which are absolutely going to make a difference, and they are absolutely worth talking about. One is Bruxish, all the way up here, with its Psychic Water typing. It's like a glacier version of the Slow Bros, the Slow Bro and Slow King, right? It's got Bite, so there's that dark damage, and very hard-hitting dark damage as well, coupled with Psychic Fangs, meaning over time that Bite damage adds up. It does no crunch, but Aqua Tail is probably a better second move just because you're getting to it a lot quicker. There's a big difference of 10 energy there when you're running Bite as your fast move. The problem with Bruxish is that it's glassy. It can't really take a hit, so it's like Gardevoir where it can grind down against opponents, but you're gonna come out of it probably at a shield disadvantage. and also it's just inflexible, like Gardevoir. Like it takes so long to get to those charge moves, right? The other thing is the Slowpoke family, which is getting a community day on Saturday local time, and it's going to be the whole family is going to be getting Surf. All of the evolutions benefit from this, but the big one, the one that will absolutely capsize this meta, is Galarian Slowking. With Hex, Surf, and Shadow Ball, it beats 82% of the meta, and a lot of its losses aren't particularly worrisome. Galarian Articuno, Latios, Girafarig, Shadow Mewtwo. There's not really that. I mean, yeah, it's losing to Malamar. It's going to hate a Malamar, sure. But you give it a... I mean, Shadow Ball takes out most of these things, right? A Shadow Ball will do more than 100% damage to a Bruxish. So, like, yeah, it loses to Bruxish on paper, but if you can land a Shadow Ball... that was my phone. If you can land a Shadow Ball, that's over. So, absolutely make sure you're getting a good Galarian Slowking for this meta. All of the other slow family too is very good, and that is the Psychic Cup meta. So let us know what you're planning on running. Let us know if we've missed anything. Join in the conversation by adding your point in the comments below, and good luck with your Psychic Cup battles. Where's my mouse? There.